Hi. So, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Glenn Wilkins. I'm taking this video partially for myself, but I'm hoping that some people might be able to take something about my experiences and my journey, and maybe it'll help them. So, uh, yes, this all started January of 2020 when I moved to St. Louis. I took the biggest risk of my life and moved here to pursue pro wrestling. I'd always been a fan of pro wrestling, but it was my friend Mike that convinced me to get in the ring and on the mats, and immediately I was hooked. So I wanted to see if I could be any good at it. Um, it was a gamble moving here to see if I could make a living, see if I could actually be any good at wrestling, but it was something that I felt I needed to do for myself. Um, of course, shortly after I moved to St. Louis, COVID hit. My timing seems to be impeccable that way. Uh, so everything shut down, all wrestling schools. Um, Come 2021, I was finally starting to get back on track. I was working full time again. I was hitting the gym better. I was making progress, and that's when everything went sideways. Um, in September of 2020, I went to the hospital for afibrillation. They warned me that AFib increased my chances of getting a blood clot. They did give me um, some literature and they put me on one medication at the time. Um, but it wasn't until early January that everything really fell out. As best I can figure it, it was probably about January 15th, somewhere right in the middle of January. I woke up one morning planning on going to work just like normal. Got dressed, got something to eat, got in the car. I knew I felt a bit off. I couldn't pinpoint what was wrong. Um, but I decided to try to head to work anyway. Um, I started driving to work, and I'd gone to this particular YMCA dozens of times before. Um, I took the exit off the highway and for some reason took one turn and was immediately lost. I couldn't figure out where I was going. And all of a sudden I hit a curb, ran off the road, and popped two of my tires. Uh, um, so I stopped at the closest business I could find, which was a bank, parked and called, well, texted my boss and then called a tow truck to tow me home. And then I tried to sleep it off the rest of the day, whatever it was. But it didn't go away. Uh, so when I woke up the next day, my friend Bob convinced me to go to the hospital. I took a Uber to a nearby clinic to see if they could, maybe it was a smaller issue, but they said I was still in uh, more of a minor case of AFib, so they sent me back to the hospital. And that's where they did some more tests. And that's where they said that I'd had a stroke. Uh, I was apparently pretty lucky. It was a relatively minor stroke. No permanent damage, supposedly. But there was some apparent minor damage to the occipital and to a portion of the brain called the thalamus, which is mostly concerned with balance and coordination, which was why I couldn't figure why I got lost uh, the day before trying to go to work. They kept me in the hospital for a few days. put me on blood thinners and medication to regulate my heart rhythm, and sent me home. Um, Things haven't really gotten better. Forgive me if I cry during this. uh, I've never really had any real health problems other than high blood pressure. I've always been pretty active. Uh, I've been going to the gym on a semi regular basis for over a decade. Um, I'm muscular, I'm strong, I've always had physically active jobs. Um, so I did not see this coming. Um, uh, Lately, since the hospital, I've been trying to go for walks every day. And before I could walk for hours at a time, and I have. Um, I used to go for late night walks around my hometown of Missoula, and I would walk for hours at a time. Now I have to really concentrate to keep from falling down while I walk, and a 15-20 minute walk gets me tired. Um, I walk any further than that, and I feel like I'm gonna lose my balance and fall again. Um, there are some mornings when I wake up so dizzy I don't dare drive. Um, every day I'm scared that I'm gonna fall down the stairs. Um, I hold on to the railing really hard to try to make sure that I don't, but and my biggest fear right now is that this is my life. What if I don't get any better?